I hear you've taken out the broodmother. And you've silenced the mantis. And now, you think you're big enough to bring down the queen? Well, if that's the case, follow me, friends, and I'll show you how. So, the actual fight is over pretty fast, and we have a lot of stuff to explain, so I have 2 rounds of fighting her in the background footage. The first fight, I was using pollen arrows just to see how viable they are. Spoiler, they're not, really. The second fight is using the build I'm explaining today, and it melts her pretty good if you're a decent aim. Starting with my armor. I am going full Wasp mode with this one, due to the air superiority perk you get from the full set, which makes your ranged attacks deal significantly more stun damage to flying creatures. On top of the set bonus, before level 6, they give you charged shot combo, which makes it so when you fire an uncharged shot, your next charged shot has a chance to charge twice as fast. And, more importantly, at level 6, you get quick shot refund, which makes firing a charged shot give you a chance for normal shots to refund stamina. It seems like there'd be a lot to keep track of, but it actually works pretty seamlessly. Just by using a bow, you'll proc both of these plenty. Next, my weapon of choice for this fight is the Bard's Bow with salt arrows. You don't get access to the bow until you beat the queen. So, if this is your first time, if you're using my setup, I would recommend the insect bow. The Black Ox crossbow does do more damage, but you can't use the charged shots this build kind of works around if you use a crossbow. Anyway, the Bard's Bow gives you minor threat and plus crit chance. It's actually unclear how much crit chance this gives you. It's not told on the wiki, and I haven't been able to find the information anywhere. If anyone else is able to find that, please leave that down in the comments. Minor threat makes it so your enemies are more likely to attack any other target besides you. So basically your pets and your summons. Or your teammates if you're playing with friends, so be careful. The importance of these 2 perks will be made clear with the mutations. Next up is my trinket. I'm using the Entomologist badge, which grants a decent buff to your attack, 15%, but it makes it impossible to perfect block. But you'll see that's not really an issue. The other recommendation for trinket I would give would be the Whittling, because it summons little black widows pretty frequently, and with your minor threat perk, summons are very useful. Now, you might be tempted to use a fancy fletching, which makes it so shooting arrows will leave you exhausted for a shorter period of time when you run out of stamina. But with the quick shot refund perk and using the cardio fan mutation, it's just not worth the slot. So, Entomologist badge or Whittling. Now, on to my mutations. You'll be excited to know I've switched it up a little and am not using Sour Sensation or Spicy Safety. We are going all damage today. So, from top to bottom, we have Sharpshooter, which you get by getting kills with a bow or crossbow. 40, 100, then 200 kills for level 3. This mutation increases your crit chance by 10, 15, and then 20% when using a bow. Next is Coup de Grace, which gives another plus 5% crit chance at level 2. If you don't know how to get Coup de Grace, I'll have a video out in the near future explaining it. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that one. Next is probably the most difficult mutation to obtain, Trapper Peeper. This one gives you a plus 20, 40, and then 60% extra crit damage. But it requires you to gather 20, 40, then 60 gold cards, which, if you have this mutation, I don't have to tell you, is very time consuming. Next is Cardio Fan, which if you've watched any of my other grounded stuff, you know I never take off. And lastly, I'm using Apex Predator, which, when using the Bard's Bow, can spawn in semi-friendly wasps to get in one good attack on the enemy, and distract them from you. I say semi-friendly because if you accidentally hit one, it kinda turns on you. Now, for the meal, I would use either the Spider Slider for an extra 5% crit chance, or a Black Ox Burger for that damage resist and health boost. My juice of choice for this fight is the Beefy Liquid Rage for a 10% damage buff. A Salty Club of the Mother Demon just in case you run out of arrows, and plenty of bandages, or even heal bosses. It doesn't seem like flying enemies heal inside of that circle. Once you have all of this equipped, you basically just circle the room, firing as much as you can. And before you know it, you just beat the Wasp Queen. Congratulations! If you enjoy this kind of thing, why don't you jump on over to my Discord and join the bloat? There are only a couple of us so far, but with people like you, we can grow our small community into a giant. And with that, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time when we take out the infected Broodmother. Goodbye.